Hey, what is going on, everybody? Martino here from Extract Media. Today we're talking about Star Wars The Bad Batch Episode 3 of Season 2. This episode was directed by Saul Ruiz and Brad Rao once again. This episode was kind of a side story, kind of stood on its own, but also changed the overarching narrative at the same time, which I really enjoyed about it. Governor Grouton, who we've never really met before, I don't believe he's a newly appointed governor, according to the show, and some troopers go over to the planet of Desix, which I don't remember ever seeing in anything Star Wars before, and they're trying to relieve the separatists of their reign. And this is really odd because as fans, we've been groomed through the prequels to kind of think of the separatists as bad guys, but here we're really rooting for them, and I find that morally weird in my mind as a fan, but I kind of understand it too. I really like that dynamic that they had at play here for the audience. But on this planet, he meets Tawny Ames, who believes she is the governor, who is also a separatist. We see some battle droids, which I really enjoyed. It was nice to see them again. We also see some droidicas as well. We find out that Tawny Ames actually has some connections with Dooku through this episode. I thought that was a really nice name drop. So we also see the return of Crosshair in this episode, and I actually started to feel a little bit bad for Crosshair, especially when he was going to eat lunch and those clones just like left. He had to eat lunch by himself, the poor guy. But part of me understands it too. It's like Crosshair's kind of an asshole. I wouldn't want to sit next to him either. But Crosshair gets called into the governor's office. The governor tells him, "You got a new mission here. It's to go get Governor Grouton." And we find out that Cody is actually the one that requested Crosshair. If you've seen Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, you really understand why Cody would have requested Crosshair for this mission. So this episode is action-packed, it's good, it's dark-toned, it's tension-filled. I really like that about it. I like that we have a new planet, some new characters. I liked all the action here too. There's nothing in this episode we really haven't seen before in Star Wars though, except for when Crosshair fires that blaster bolt into that tank. That was awesome, the way that he just shot it right into the barrel of the gun on the tank. That was cool, that was new, I respected that. So Ames has Governor Grouton held hostage here, right? And then they have to make a choice, and Cody's kind of coming up with a diplomatic solution to all this with no violence. She agrees to this, she lets Governor Grouton go, and then you think that everything's okay, but wait, oh, it's not, because then Governor Grouton asks Cody to fire upon Ames, and Cody fails to do this, which Crosshair kind of fills out this order, ends up killing Ames, which I thought was a really intense and sort of a violent ending. But on the same hand, like the rest of this episode, I pretty much found it to be fairly predictable, honestly, and that's not something that I love about the show, is how predictable it is. But I thought the ending really had meaning when Cody was talking to Crosshair and saying, you know what the difference between us and battle droids are, is that we have a choice. So then they show like a day later or whatever, and Crosshair wakes up, gets his new mission from the governor, and the governor tells him that Cody actually went AWOL. And I think that this is going to start to make Crosshair think a little bit about what's actually going on within the Empire and how this is wrong. It's clear that Crosshair had a little bit of respect for Cody in this episode, so I don't think he's going to like that very much, especially if they're the ones that took him out. Or did Cody just run? We don't know yet. Anyway, guys, like I said, I did like the episode. Thought it was very, very good. I think so far this season has been superior to season 1. I did like this a lot with the tension, but I do think it's fairly predictable at the same time. Like I said, we're getting little to next to no new things either in this show. Like, I think that the new stuff we are getting is kind of similar to things we've had in the past, honestly, with the Clone Wars or season 1 of the Bad Batch. So it's a good show so far. I'm just not really, I don't know, not overly impressed. So there you have it, guys. Let me know what you think of Star Wars The Bad Batch season 2 so far. Did you like this episode? Did you not like it? Why or why not? I would love to have the conversation with you. Before I get out of here, do us a favor, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications. I am Martino once again, and I will talk to you guys later.